Hey, Phoenix here. Okay. I wanted to make this video and try to talk about something important to me. I want to talk about sickle cell disease. Now, a lot of people I have met over the years have asked me what sickle cell is, and I thought it'd be more I thought it'd be more known, more people would have more information about it. But it seems that the general public doesn't really have that idea though. And that's okay. That's okay. I wanted to go ahead and make this video about it cuz it's important to me. It's something that I have been dealing with ever since I was born. Now you're probably wondering what sickle cell disease is. Well, sickle cell disease is the result of mutation that causes abnormal hemoglobin. Probably asking yourself, okay, well, what's hemoglobin? All right, well, let me tell you, is hemoglobin is the protein inside of red blood cells that give them their red coloring and help them carry oxygen to the blood. To the blood. Help carry oxygen throughout the body. Okay? So, hemoglobin is what gives the red blood cells their color and helps it carry oxygen throughout the body. Cool. Um, Hold on. Okay. So, look. Sickle cell disease is a blanket term, pretty much. It's a blanket term because underneath that blanket, there are other types of sickle cell to deal with. The most common is sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is the illness that I suffer with. It's the most common of the sickle cell types. And it's basically, you get sickle cell anemia by having fewer or less healthy red blood cells than normal, than you typically would. Now, what I mean by that is, for people who have sickle cell disease, not all their red blood cells are round and red. I said round and red, wow. Not all of them are round, but they are red still. I don't know why I just said that. That was weird. Uh, all right, but yeah, it's sickle cell. They're called sickle cell because these cells turn, because of the abnormal hemoglobin inside that protein, inside is abnormal. It changes the structure of the cell, of the red blood cells, changing it to a different shape and changing its consistency. It changes its shape to, as the name sounds, a sickle. Now, I didn't know what a sickle was at first because that's not something that I come across in my day-to-day activities. So I had to think. Last time I heard about a sickle was when I played a Harvest Moon game. And I'm like, is that what they're talking about? A farming tool. So I looked it up to make sure. And yeah, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about a farming tool. Okay, so another comparison is it looks like the letter C or the crescent moon. And by when it's like that, it's no longer soft and squishy and able to easily flow through blood vessels. When it becomes a sickle cell, it becomes rigid and very sticky. And because of that, they end up grouping together and blocking blood vessels, sticking to the blood vessel walls and just causing a blockage, which is bad because now no other red blood cells can go ahead and get through. And the whole job of a red blood cell is to go ahead and deliver oxygen throughout the body. That's pretty difficult to do when you got a giant wall just sitting in the way. Now, because the body isn't receiving any oxygen to that area that's affected, well, what do you think happens? The body sends out a signal to let the brain know, hey, there's an issue going on down here. You need to check this out. The brain's like, all right. I send the people. By people, it means it's gonna send a signal to let you know that there's something wrong. And the way it lets you know there's something wrong, it puts you in pain. And I mean a lot of it. A lot of it. Very painful illness. Very painful. Very debilitating. Would not wish this on my worst enemy. Yeah, wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So, it's hard. Really, it is. And when it gets like that, that's when it turns into what's called a pain crisis. A sickle cell crisis, to be exact. And when that pain gets to a certain level, there's nothing we can really do at home to go ahead and manage it anymore. We have to go to a hospital. And we go to a hospital, and sometimes we're there for days, sometimes we're there for a week, sometimes longer. Me personally, I have definitely been in the hospital longer. In fact, I think the longest time I spent in a hospital was a month and a half. Yeah, it was that bad. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But sickle cell is manageable as long as you have the right team of doctors, you got the right medications, and you're doing what you're supposed to do on the outside. And when I mean outside, I mean of the hospital. You gotta make sure you take care of yourself. You gotta make sure you do at least regular exercise. Gotta make sure you drink a lot of water. Because a lot of things can go ahead and set it off. A lot of things can go ahead and cause a pain crisis. A changing in temperature, stress, just being mildly sick in general, being around somebody who's sick. If you're around somebody who's sick, yeah, you're gonna get sick pretty fast, and it's gonna get worse. Sorry to say. But, I mean, it's nothing else we can really do. We just gotta do what we can to manage. It also helps if you have a good support system. People to go ahead and talk about this with, because this can be pretty devastating on your mental. It's been times I've been in some pretty dark places because of sickle cell. It's times that I've had to pull some of my friends who have sickle cell out of these dark places. Gotta remind them that, yeah, when you're having a crisis, it sucks and it seems like the world just stands still. Like nothing's going on, nothing's happening. Except all you know is that you're in pain and you want to get rid of it any way you can. It's really that bad. And that kind of thinking can lead to some dark paths. It can lead to some dark roads, not gonna lie. But you can't let it get to that point. You can't let it beat you down like that. You have to go ahead and keep strong. I have to tell my friends, and they've had to tell me, there's more to life than just a pain crisis. There's more things out there to enjoy. It's not all bad. Every day doesn't suck. Like, yeah, you have pain, and that sucks. But when you don't, it's back to everyday living. And I've learned to enjoy those times. I've learned to enjoy the peace of not being in the hospital so much. Because I go pretty often. Now I'm managing myself a bit better. But it's still rough for me. And I'm just doing the best I can. I think that's all any of us can do. But that being said, you have to really try to push past that kind of thing. You have to really start to stop, smell the roses, and actually look and be thankful for all the good things that are actually around you. And yeah, you may not see it at first, but there are a lot of good things around you. For one, it's a miracle that we're even alive. It's a miracle that we lived to the age that we did, that we are. That's a lot of people can go ahead and say, if you're religious, a lot of people can say that's a blessing. And that's true. The air you breathe, the water you drink, the people you encounter. Granted, everybody isn't the nicest, but you do learn something, a little bit of something from everybody. At least that's how I look at it. I try to go ahead and put my mind and thoughts into other things, trying to channel this energy that I have and just try to make the best of my living. I like to go ahead and write. I don't know how many people still write. Seems like everything is just online nowadays. Which isn't wrong. That's handy. That's great. It's being progressive. But sometimes, I like to go ahead and just write down in a notebook and just put my thoughts on paper, It really helps. Sometimes I'll even go ahead and just make up some of the craziest stories I can think of. Like, I'll just start thinking about, like, what's the craziest thing I can think of to happen, and what could be the craziest thing to follow after that. It's all a bit of, man, just hit my phone and everything like that. It's all a bit of fun, really. I like to play video games and everything. I get to do a lot of that in the hospital. I do a lot of it out of the hospital as well. Now, I'm just a casual player. I play a lot of games. But yeah, it's just some of the things that I like to do. In fact, recently I've went back to reading, and I'm still trying to get my studies in. Ooh, trying to study. I need to try to get my GED kind of thing. And I need to get my license. It's a lot of things that I've been trying to go ahead and get to. It's taken me some time, but at least I still have that time to take. So I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna go ahead and put my best foot forward. Put it out there. Do the best I can. Go for that GED, go for my license. Get my life together. That sort of thing. Well, I think that's all I really want to go ahead and say about this at the moment. I can't really think of what else I want to go ahead and say at the moment. I know there's other things that I want to go ahead and say about sickle cell. I just don't have it organized in my head at the moment, and I don't want to just be sitting here in front of the camera just saying this whole time like I've been doing. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just leave it off here. Maybe I'll go ahead and make another video, have my thoughts organized, and start talking about what else I can possibly share about sickle cell, or what else is just possibly going on with whatever. I don't know. I'm making this video because I'm bored and everything, and I thought it'd be kind of informative. It is, it is. Look, if you made it to this point, thank you. You're an absolute legend. Absolute legend. And I wholeheartedly appreciate you. Because the more people that know about this, the better. It can really finally get out there, and maybe we can have, I don't know, maybe it'll go ahead and inspire somebody to go ahead and actually do some sickle cell research and figure out some things. Because, I probably should say, sickle cell does not have a cure at all. I can go more into that in the next video. But for right now, I'm going to just leave it off here. And like I said, if you made it to this point, thank you. I appreciate you. You're an absolute legend. And if you liked the video, please do leave a like. Thanks. It's been Phoenix, and I'm out.